Hello, I'm Judith Lowe, and I want to invite you to our new masterclass on March the 14th called Coaching at Identity Level. And it's for all you coaches out there, master trainers, practitioners, master practitioners, etc., who want to develop your work and your practice to deal with these more sophisticated, more wide-ranging kind of identity type issues that clients and friends and family and co-workers can offer you, and to see and to know how NLP, the kind of tools and frames that NLP has to address coaching at this level, which of course is very different from helping someone solve a particular kind of behavioral lack of choice in a specific context. This is more to do with who someone experiences themselves to be. So how would you know, what is this going to solve? How would you know what kind of client had this sort of problem? I mean, often it's someone who experiences themselves as a person in a way as no longer fitting into their own skin sometimes, that they're not fitting somehow, they're not belonging, they're somehow not tapped into their full potential. It's not a specific skill they want to acquire, it's more a kind of experience that they have a lot more potential, which is as yet unexpressed and unreleased into a bigger kind of world that they want to live in. So you find, here's some examples. So you find people, for example, sometimes quite conflicted. You find people who are running a lot of shoulds and oughts about themselves as a person. Well, I really should be more like this. I really should be more like that. It's not I should be doing this behavior, but it's like I really should be a different kind of person. It's almost like there's this kind of ideal self, and so there's an unhappiness there at the person that they are, the person that they think they should be, or that other people feel they should be, and there's a gap between the two things. Another way of thinking this might be appropriate is when someone is telling a lot of very congested, very well-worn, on-repeat function type personal stories about themselves, often when they are themselves like the victim of things. And this is a very well-worn, well, of course, this is my life, this is what happened to me. It's got this sense of nothing can ever be changed. This has been my life so far, so I'm going to project it forward, and I can't change that, of course, because it's not about circumstances, it's somehow about who I am. So I think that's another cue. There are these very deeply held stories, beliefs, and thoughts that people are running. These are also about how people have their beliefs about whether they deserve, for example, happiness in life, or love in life, or success in life, or good health in life. And those are often attached to I statements and a kind of non-verbal, whole body, this is me kind of statement and communication that someone's making. And sometimes you get people whose whole social situation has become sort of unglued. They've somehow lost their connection into a web of, relationship and with other people. So I think there are those kinds of issues. I think you also see people sometimes who are in survival mode a lot. They've gone into a kind of hyper alert mode, and they're running fight, flight, freeze on many things. It's like their identity is on the line about lots and lots of little kind of hair trigger type things. All of them are about them, whether they deserve to be there, whether someone's having a go at who they are, rather than being able to allow those kinds of ups and downs in life to be organized more at behavior and communication kinds of levels. Somehow they're experienced as being at, you're getting at me, you're having a go at me. And so now I've got to fight back. I've got to set my boundaries. I've got to defend myself. I've got to go into this automatic kind of survival type behavior. So that is one of the, I think, ways that you can start to see which sorts of clients might be eligible for this kind of work. I mean, and sometimes it's less dramatic. It's more that people have a kind of sense that the circumstances in their lives have changed for whatever reason, for better or for worse. Sometimes good things change people and they're a challenge. And somehow the feeling is, I need to grow up. I need to develop. I need to somehow expand how I am and how I can be in some kind of expanded world, so that I can bring a new, more generative, more kind of more of me into the world. I can express myself more in the world, because at the moment that feels constricted and cabined and cribbed and confined, and there's more of me to be seen, there's more of me to live my life. NLP doesn't really have a kind of explicit developmental model, although in my opinion it's implied by many of the practitioner level kinds of models and skills that we acquire, and I'll certainly say a lot more about that on the masterclass day, how you can work from the bottom up in terms of your NLP skills in this very generative developmental kind of way. But also, of course, we'll really be exploring the top-down approaches, aligning people with values, allowing them to see and sense and hear a kind of mission and calling, to tap into more of their own potential, to come more alive, more present, more centered, more able to live a kind of full life in a fully connected human community. And I think from that point of view, these are the kind of prerequisites for people wanting to make a contribution in the world, for any kind of leadership position, that there's more of you, as it were, there. You've become this kind of more expanded, enriched, possibly mature and wise kind of person. There's a wisdom there. Maybe we'll be finding out what really is wisdom. What does that mean? What does growing up mean? What does it mean to be an adult in our very changing, very challenging world that we're in, where we all know something has to change. We've got to somehow, the Americans would say, step up. But how do you do that? When you have that thing, you've got to step up now. Here's this challenge. You've got to grow to meet it. And those are the kinds of tools and approaches that I want us to be using. So just to finish off with this, I think that this kind of coaching is obviously for you yourself as a coach, to develop yourself, to expand, to meet the new kinds of clients who need you, but also there will be tools and models and approaches to really sponsor and awaken, help people come more present and more alive in their world, help them fit, help them belong, help them deserve at this kind of identity level. And I sometimes say to some of my clients, it's not so much that there's a challenge, sometimes it's just a particular phase in your life. There's the lovely opening that Dante has, where he goes, in the mid part of my life, I found myself in a dark wood, and the straight road ahead of me had disappeared. And I think sometimes we will have moments like that in life. And at that point, I think, as Dante in fact did, you need a kind of guide, you need a companion, you need support, you need someone who sees you, for whom you truly exist, for whom you truly are a presence in the world, and who can help you bring out what is the new possibilities, bring out that new amazing potential to live your life for what's real, what's happening today, and be generative tomorrow. So I'm very excited about this masterclass. There's lots more I could say. I hope that you'll join me, and I look forward to seeing you March the 14th. You can book online.